Hey now, say now. What's up, solar system? It's your girl, Righteous Soul. And today's topic is going to stem around daddy issues. All right, first, I'm going to give you guys a poem, an original poem written by me called Daddy Issues, and then I'll chime in on the topic. They're gonna blame my turning gay on my absenteeism father, but right away I'll hold myself accountable for his absence, which taught me love is presence. Who I was born to and who I was born to love has no correlation, neither was my choice, but one is a preference. When you're gay, people assume you've lost your way and need helping. See, I never needed a man or a woman, I just needed a shepherd. And I would die loving a driven woman before I lived with a man who gives no effort. And despite what happened between dad and mom, I never overlooked the fact that 9 kids later, she never required him to put a ring on her finger. And I'm hoping that doesn't result in a bloodline of women who may not require one either. Because for me, we're all more than deserving of that. Now that is the stinger, because mom didn't know it. His charm must have had her hooked. Now that is the sinker. Dad reeled her in along with all those other women, but it wasn't his fault she didn't properly use her thinker. She was there, and he took advantage of what was in his reach. Couldn't blame him for that either. She was banking on good cooking, good cleaning, and good sex being all she needed to have in store, but men who can get the whole damn cow for free won't require anything more, so he milked it and took his last breath next to a woman who was milkless. She couldn't hold a candle to my mom, yet she was the light my dad needed to walk into his next life, and he held that candle tight on his way to his grave site, knowing damn well that road wasn't paved right. But that's what happens to good men when they love hard but refuse to fight. They keep good women in the dark, because good women keep holding candles that men who aren't ready refuse to light. Death sucks, but it's life, and it's coming for all of us eventually, right? So I just started walking into that light, met the woman of my dreams, and then I met her beautiful wife. Played house for 3 years before I spotted my grave site. Like father, like daughter, different soul, same plight. Loving someone who was always going to choose home was brave, right? But I'd do it all over again just to master the slave who keeps getting chained to shaky grounds. And I never broke up a happy home, just moved some things around, then left them the way I found. Now I'm hooked on Felicia Rashad's friends screaming, you can have any woman your age. And I'm like, now y'all just preaching to God and the choir, because I want that one there. So let me boss up and get what I desire. I now know what's required. And I'll be Eve if that makes you understand that I'm not trying to compete with Adam. I just think it's a shame when I see a woman with 4 kids and 0 orgasms because guys are too busy trying to give her back spasms. See, dad would be proud that I'm becoming a different kind of fisherman and that I'm actually trying to win someone over versus overwin the uninterested. I see you, dad, and I miss you, but I'm no longer one of those women who need tissue, because I did the math, and 9 times out of 10 we always blame the men when dad was never the issue. Ladies, there's an elephant in the room and only one captain of his ship, sis, and it's you. All right, all right, all right. Now that's my poem entitled Daddy Issues. I themed the whole showcase around the different kind of fathers that are out there, because I felt like, one, the different kind of fathers needed to be in a category. Like you need to be able to name them. You know, call them by name. What if it's a deadbeat? If it's an amazing stepdad who stepped in? You know, if it's a biological father who's just doing all the things he needs to do. If it's just someone who's kind of in and out of the picture, you know, we need to be able to call these people by name. You know, I've been harsh on fathers who don't step up to the plate because I feel like the children didn't ask to be here. But I also want to send that responsibility out to the mothers who are choosing certain guys, and of course they're not always like that when we meet them. Everybody's trying to impress, but eventually when we learn of their ways, we have to hold them accountable so that the kids don't suffer any longer, if that makes sense. Now, I looked up the definition for daddy issues, and according to the urban definition, it says daddy issues refers to the result of a messed up relationship with one's father. And then it goes on to say, or having an absent father, resulting in younger women chasing older men and even seeking mistreatment in some cases. And then the sentence example is, I was dating a 24-year-old when I was 38, but I didn't try to dress young. I was just a major alcoholic, and she was the daughter of an alcoholic and had major daddy issues. See, and then he says, once I sobered up, she lost interest, and I got creeped the f out thinking about the psychology of it all. So, some of these gentlemen that we're dating are preying on such women. They're hoping that there are a lot of underlying issues, and that all women with different daddy issues does not mean that they're going to be seeking older mates to be with, just because they remind them of fathers. And I say often that I prefer cougars. I've never dated a cougar at all, but when I say that, I know sometimes I scare the younger women who may be interested away. I don't really mean a 60-year-old or 70-year-old. I really mean I'm judging based on the maturity that comes with women who have aged well. So there's a maturity and a nurturing characteristic that I seek in the women that I date. And so when you hear me say that, sometimes I'll be playing around with the word cougar, so I don't always mean it literally. Well, that's not literally, but in the sense of an older woman. But I sometimes just mean in the maturity that comes with such a woman who not just ages gracefully, but matures gracefully. So that's what I mean. And in this case, this guy is saying that, once he got his life together and sobered up and maybe became like a good model of a man, that the girl no longer wanted him. And that's sad. That's sad. And he says that he was creeped out by the psychology behind it all. And I don't want women to keep getting a bad rap, thinking that just because there's a dad not in the picture, or a dad that didn't play his role the way we would like for fathers to play their role, that automatically means that they're messed up or screwed up in some way. Yes, sometimes some of the people with messed up issues with their parents turn out to be amazing people, so it's not always going to reflect in a negative manner, but sometimes it does. And when it does, we as women have to call it what it is. One, we got to call these fathers what they are. And I know that a lot of men and some women that I know hate when women say I was the father and the mother. So on Father's Day, when they're like, oh, I had to give myself a gift because it's Father's Day, and basically they're dealing with a deadbeat dad. And I've seen several angles of the spectrum, which means I've seen women put themselves in the role of having to be both mother and father because the dad is not in the picture. But I've also seen fathers who were trying to step up to the plate not get the acknowledgement, either because the women felt like that, oh, now you're trying to be a dad, you stepped up too late. But I have a line in my poem that in one of my other poems that says, like, when a man is trying to step up to the plate, let him. It doesn't always snap back into play for some men overnight. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes they may have seen a TV show that advertised or showcased the dad in the different role with their child. And sometimes we have to kind of keep that in mind, that it doesn't click for everyone right away. Yes, men should know that once you decide to step up and be man enough to put a baby inside of someone, you should also keep in mind that there's a big responsibility that comes with that, and then there's a child that is at the other end of that hurt if it isn't tended to early on. So one, I would never defend a man who isn't stepping up to the plate, because it doesn't cost anything to say, hey, do you need diapers this week? Or hey, I know I pay child support, but I want to go a little extra this month because I know you've been working double jobs. Or even if she's not working double jobs and you just want to step up to the plate. Men, I commend you for the different roles that you have to play in the lives of women. And then if you are one of the men who gets the women who may be a little bit, screws loose, some things not together because of her past. Thank you for your patience, because sometimes the women have to snap out of it too. Sometimes there are some things that they hold against the men, and some grudges and some things they wish had worked out but didn't, and they kind of walk around with that resentment. So that to those kind of women, I say we have to heal. We got to heal because we have a generation after us that we have to take care of, and we don't want what we dealt with in our past, or things that are lingering in our past, or telling us to eat us alive, or to have a negative reflection on the child. So honestly, that's all I wanted to say on the topic, was one, to just kind of see what the Urban Dictionary is defining as it. And urban isn't by any means the best definition to go by, but I wanted to see what it said in particular, because sometimes it tries to keep it real, so to speak. So I was interested in seeing what that definition was for daddy issues. And I'm also wanting to just send my salutes to all the men who are stepping up to the plate. And if you're watching this and you're a man and you've been slacking, it's okay if you no, it's not okay that you've been slacking. It's okay that now you've been slacking. You can acknowledge that you've been slacking, and now you want to step up to the plate. And I will go ahead and tell you now, every woman won't be like me in the sense of, saying, okay, he wants to step up to the plate now. Let me see what he's going to do with this opportunity that I give him. That's what I would do. But I'm not the women that are having to deal with these kind of men. So everyone deals with them accordingly. And there's sometimes no right or wrong. There's just let's handle this in this moment. And then please look at your child when you're making these decisions. All right. You have to look at your child when you're making such decisions, because they are going to have to reap the consequences of your actions. All right. Again, you already know. Remember, I know it's my world. You know it's my world, but it really isn't a world without you in it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you not only subscribe, guys, but to be notified about upcoming videos. Make sure you click the bell for post notifications, and talk to me in the comment sections. Like, I really want to be able to keep engaging with my audience. Like, some subscribers have been on point. Y'all are making me laugh, making me have to respond back, and I love it. So thank you, guys. And daddies out there, thank you. Mommies out there having to play double roles, thank you. Mommies out there who are giving dads second chances, who screwed up the first time, thank you. Dads out there who are recognizing that I could have done better the first time, thank you. I thank you all. There's no right or wrong way. It's just that when you discover, yeah, there is a right or wrong way. I'm sorry about that. But when you discover that there's a better way to do things, and that you could have done things a little bit more maturely, then please do. All right. And hey now, say now, and I'm out.